He thought he could get away with it again. Another city, another victim, another assault allegation. But this time, there was a witness who refused to stay silent. And what he revealed about what happened in that limo, it's far worse than anyone initially reported. The latest incident that sparked outrage. Playboi Carti was charged with misdemeanor assault in Utah during his Antagonist 2.0 tour, and the details of what allegedly happened are deeply disturbing. This isn't just another celebrity controversy. This is about a pattern of behavior that keeps repeating itself, and we need to talk about it. So, here's what went down. On October 2nd, 2025, in Heber City, Utah, Carti was being driven by a limo driver named Carl Reynolds from a hotel in Park City to a rehearsal at Utah Valley University. According to the police report and Carl's own account, things took a dark turn when Carti and his girlfriend started arguing in the back seat, specifically about an intimate matter. Now, Carl Reynolds is just trying to do his job, right? He's driving these people safely to their destination. But the argument between Carti and his girlfriend escalated to a point where Carl felt uncomfortable and unsafe. He intervened verbally, suggesting maybe they should separate, maybe switch vehicles with security. And that's when things allegedly got violent. According to Carl's statement to police, he heard what sounded like a punch. And when he looked back, he saw Carti's girlfriend hunched over, holding near her chest. Carl made the decision to pull over to a safer location on the highway. But here's where it gets even worse. When Carl stopped the vehicle, Carti allegedly punched him directly in the face, causing a bruised jaw and whiplash. Police officers who responded to the scene documented visible redness on Carl's face and jaw, with markings consistent with being struck by a fist or open hand. Carl needed medical attention. And get this, according to TMZ's reporting, Carl claims that Carti actually punched his girlfriend in the chest during the argument, which is what prompted him to pull over in the first place. But here's what's really troubling, and what we need to discuss in depth. This isn't Carti's first rodeo. This isn't even his second or third incident involving alleged violence. This is part of a disturbing pattern that stretches back years, and it's time we examine the full picture. A history of violence against women. To understand the gravity of what happened in Utah, we need to look at Playboi Carti's documented history with violence, particularly against women. And I want to be clear, I'm not here to cancel anyone or destroy someone's career. I'm here to present facts, backed by police reports, court documents, and verified news sources, because the pattern is undeniable. Let's start with 2017. Playboi Carti was arrested at LAX airport for domestic battery after allegedly assaulting his girlfriend of 3 years. According to the police report from that incident, the argument started because Carti wanted his girlfriend to call his mother to check in, but she didn't want to. His response? He allegedly snatched her phone from her hands and grabbed her by her backpack to pull her out of the terminal. A witness reported seeing a red mark on the girlfriend's chest from Carti pulling her by the backpack straps. Another witness said they saw the couple pushing each other, then Carti pushed her outside, grabbed her backpack, and forced her into an Uber. He was arrested for misdemeanor domestic battery and posted $20,000 bail, but it gets so much worse. Fast forward to December 2022. This is the incident that should have been a massive wake-up call. Playboi Carti was arrested in Fulton County, Georgia, and charged with felony aggravated assault after allegedly choking his pregnant girlfriend. And when I say pregnant, she was 14 weeks pregnant at the time of the alleged attack. According to the arrest affidavit, the woman told police that Carti grabbed her by her throat and pushed her, holding her neck until she could barely breathe. She told officers she thought she was going to die. Let that sink in for a moment. A pregnant woman carrying his child thought she was going to die at his hands. The incident allegedly started over a conversation about a paternity test that escalated into a physical attack. A witness reportedly jumped in to try and break up the fight, and when the woman was able to escape Carti's grasp, she ran to her car, where Carti allegedly attacked her again. He allegedly tried pulling her out of the car and put his hand over her mouth as she tried to use the vehicle's SOS feature to call police. When police arrived, they documented visible injuries to the woman's neck, chest, and back. This was a felony charge, aggravated assault by strangulation, which in Georgia can carry up to 7 years in prison. And you know what happened? The charges were dropped by mid-2023. Why? Because the girlfriend reportedly reconciled with Carti and declined to cooperate with prosecutors. This is tragically common in domestic violence cases, where victims feel pressured, scared, or conflicted about pursuing charges against their abuser. After this arrest became public, Iggy Azalea, Carti's other baby mother and the mother of his son Onyx, spoke out on Twitter. She posted what appeared to be a direct response to the arrest, saying, "Been there, done that, warned you," and referring to Carti as a serial abuser of women. She also accused him of rarely visiting their son unless he was running from whatever problems you got going on in Atlanta. So we have the LAX airport assault in 2017, Scotland bus driver assault where he was found guilty, the pregnant girlfriend choking incident in 2022, and now Utah in 2025. This isn't a one-time mistake. This isn't bad judgment in a heated moment. This is a pattern of violent behavior that has continued for years. Why this matters and what happens next. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but the music is fire. Why should we care about his personal life? And that's exactly the problem we need to address. Because when we separate the art from the artist to this degree, we're essentially saying that violence against women doesn't matter as long as someone is talented enough. Let me put this in perspective. After the 2022 felony assault charge became public, Playboi Carti continued releasing music and performed at major festivals like Rolling Loud in 2023. His Spotify numbers remained strong, eventually reaching 46 million monthly listeners by 2025. His career faced virtually no consequences. The Antagonist 2.0 tour that was happening when the Utah incident occurred, it continued without a single canceled show, running through December 1st, 2025, with over 40 dates. Compare this to other artists who face serious consequences for their actions. And yes, some have gotten away with it too, like Chris Brown, who continues to have a successful career despite his well-documented history of violence. But the question we should be asking isn't, why is Chris Brown still successful? It should be, why are we, as a culture, continuing to support and financially reward people who demonstrate a pattern of violence against women? There's something particularly troubling about the response to the Utah incident on social media. When the news broke on October 18th, 2025, Twitter X exploded with over 50,000 mentions. But here's the thing, a significant portion of those posts weren't expressing concern or outrage. They were memes. People were creating fake headlines saying things like Playboi Carti sentenced to 60 years in prison with no parole as jokes. The hashtag #FreeCarti trended, even though Carti was never in jail. This meme-ification of serious allegations is part of a larger problem in hip-hop and celebrity culture. We've become so desensitized to violence, particularly violence against women, that it's become content for entertainment rather than a cause for serious reflection and accountability. Carl Reynolds, the limo driver, made it clear in his public statements that his concern wasn't just about what happened to him. He explicitly said he wants to ensure that Carti doesn't hurt anyone else, including his girlfriend. That's a man who witnessed something he believes was domestic violence and is trying to prevent future harm. But his voice is being drowned out by memes and free Carti tweets from fans who seem more concerned about new music than about the safety of women around this artist. So what happens next with the legal case? As of October 19th, 2025, Carti has an arraignment pending, likely scheduled for late October or early November. Given that this is a Class B misdemeanor, and considering Carti's history of charges being dropped or resolved with minimal consequences, legal experts suggest this case could be plea bargained down to a lesser charge like disorderly conduct. Carl Reynolds has stated he plans to hire an attorney, which suggests he's serious about pursuing justice. Whether that means pushing for criminal prosecution or potentially filing a civil lawsuit remains to be seen. But the reality is, based on Carti's pattern, this will likely end with a fine, maybe some community service or anger management classes, and then business as usual. And that's the fundamental problem. When there are no real consequences, when charges get dropped, when settlements happen behind closed doors, when fans continue to stream the music and fill up concert venues regardless of documented violent behavior, what incentive is there for change? Look, at the end of the day, this isn't really about Playboi Carti specifically. This is about a larger cultural problem where we've decided that talent and entertainment value can excuse almost anything, where we've created and over multiple years. And the primary concern from fans is whether it will delay an album release. Because right now, the message being sent is clear. If you're talented enough, if you're famous enough, if you can make music that people want to rage to, then you can get away with almost anything. And that's not the culture we should be building. That's not the message we should be sending. And those aren't the artists we should be elevating without question or accountability. Thanks for watching. Check out other cards on the screen.